Weather's nice out. It's a little cold. I wanted to show you this. Uh, okay. I went over uh, a cheap water filter system yesterday. If y'all haven't seen that video, you should watch it. Today's video. Uh, oh gosh. Today's video is about making a quick and easy power supply. It's not hard at all. So I have mine wrapped in aluminum foil, EMP protected, and it goes into my Faraday cage. So it's wrapped in aluminum foil. Let me see if I can do this better. And plastic. So off comes the aluminum foil. Off comes the bubble wrap. Because you don't want the aluminum foil to short the... You don't want the aluminum foil to short across these connectors, because this has a coil in it. It's got a transducer. It's got a capacitor or two. And so this one was pretty inexpensive. It's 500 watt power inverter. So it goes from a 12 volt battery, and you want to make sure you get the polarity right. Positive is red, negative is black. And so you hook it up to a battery. I always use a deep cycle lead acid battery because they're more stable and they are less grumpy than lithium ion. And lead acid is done well by me for over the years. They're still cheap relative to other batteries. And you want to get what's called a deep cycle battery. That's a battery that can stand being charged and discharged a whole bunch of times without the plate shorting out. So the batteries I use with these depend on affordability. I have a bunch of 7 amp hour, 12 volt batteries for lighting. And then for the heavy duty stuff like my vacuum cleaner or my TV set or the refrigerator, I use a 12 amp hour battery. 12 amp hour is about $50 on Amazon. 7 amp hour, I think you can still get them for about 25 or $30. So a 7 amp hour battery is going to last a good long time hooked up to LED lighting. A 12 amp hour battery is going to last about 45 minutes under a heavy drain like a TV set or refrigerator or a vacuum cleaner. Comes in very handy. So it has the on-off switch. It's got a USB 5 volt port. It's got two 110 volt outlets. There you can see them a little better. Two 110 volt outlets. Now keep in mind that even though it's got three prong outlet, it's not grounded. So your better units will have a third lug here where you can ground it to a something like a stake in the ground, or you can ground it to a faucet, or you can ground it to the third lug on your receptacle, your wall receptacle. Even though the power's out, you can still use the ground from your receptacle. So this only has two, hot and negative, and that means that whatever appliance you're running, if you represent a good ground, you can still get shocked. So you want to be very careful with these and treat it like a regular wall outlet as far as the danger that it represents. Don't be sticking paper clips or anything in the sockets, or playing around with it, or taking it apart, because the condenser will hold a charge even when this is turned off. And so when you're done with it, you want to turn the switch on for one last time, and the light will come on for a second, and the unit will make a little noise as it's discharging. Then once the switch is turned off, it's safe. And then you want to repackage it in plastic and then aluminum foil over the plastic for EMP protection. And for those of you that are watching, please give me a thumbs up so I know you're there. Help me out. My channel has, I really paid a price with my channel by talking about the gospel and soul salvation and all of that. People don't want to hear inconvenient truths like that in this day and age. They want puppies and clowns and kittens and balloons and all that kind of stuff. So, I don't know where Pedro is. Pedro's hiding out on me. So, you can get these starting at like $50 for a 300 watt. And 300 watt is not going to run a refrigerator or anything like that. You can get a 600 watt, which will run a refrigerator, and you can use that. They're like $59 for 600 watts. 500 watt is the bare minimum. 300 watt, you can run lighting. Now, to use a coffee pot or something, you need a much larger unit, like 1500 watt. And I would not suggest that you run electric griddles or coffee pots during SHTF crisis, when you can buy a cheap camping stove and butane for about $30 now. There's a really good little camp stove, and you get like 4 canisters of butane with it on Amazon, $30. That's a good deal. So you take your 12 amp hour, 12 volt battery that you buy off of Amazon for $50. You hook it up to this, and now you got a power outlet to run whatever you want. You can charge your laptop, watch TV, whatever you want. And you want to make sure that the unit that you buy is pure sine wave, which means the phase goes up, then it comes down smoothly, up, down, just like the outer limits. A gated sine wave or square sine wave unit, what it does is it sends a pulse up, a very jagged pulse comes over, and it sends a very jagged pulse back down. It's like a ping pong game or that old pong game. It's a very jagged signal, and it's very hard on delicate equipment like laptops and things. You want to use pure sine wave, which has a much smoother signal. Then when your battery gets run down, you take your solar panel that you get from Amazon. A solar panel 5-watt is usually around $25, and you put your solar panel in the window, hook your battery up to it, and charge it. For me, the solar panel you want to get is a 10-watt solar panel, because you can use up to 10 watt without using a charge controller, which is more complicated, more money, all that other mess. 10 watt is really the top of not having to use a charge controller. So you hook your battery up and you let it charge. If you get a 5-watt, it's like $25. 10-watt solar panel on Amazon, it's going to be about $50. And you want to make sure that it says mono in the MONO in the description of the solar panel. That's monocrystalline. What that means is that if part of your solar panel gets covered up, the rest of the solar panel will still perform at 100% charge. In a regular solar panel, when part of it gets covered up, all of the rest of the panel is affected going through the part that's covered up, and you'll get a very weak charge to no charge. So when you pick out a solar panel, pick out one that says monocrystalline, MONO, and you want 10 watt if you can afford it, 5 watt if you can't. When you get down to things like 100 milliamp or something, those are only powerful enough to charge a cell phone. After a very long time, you're just wasting your money. Those run at around $20. So it's better to spend the extra 5 and at least get a 5-watt solar panel. And then if you want to charge your cell phone off of that, you charge your battery up and charge your cell phone off the USB port, which is on your inverter. So that way you have the best of everything, and it's cheap. So you can get an inverter, solar array, and battery for about $120, $150 off of Amazon, depending on what's on sale. And be very careful, because when you type in sine wave inverter, Amazon's choices don't discriminate. They will mix the other bad inverters in with it. So you have to carefully read the description. Make sure that it says it's returnable if you don't like it. And it does make a difference because I have one inverter I use for lighting. It will not run the vacuum cleaner or refrigerator or anything. The only one that'll run that is the one that says sine wave. So you want to make sure you get a sine wave inverter, and you want to make sure when you get your solar panel that you get a monocrystal solar panel, monocrystalline. So I hope that helps you out. I will be redoing some of these videos. I'm sorry that they're done in bed. I'm more bedridden than usual lately. And that comes with end of life. It comes with end of life to where you want to sleep more and more and more and more. And other things are happening, like my belly button has started to seep. That's kind of another end of life sign. I speak God's word over my body, and I exercise every day. I'll exercise, but it's just one of those things. You only get so many days. And what's up, Stefan? But I have to go because they just delivered a package at my door. Normally, my neighbors are very good about seeing that, the packages are left alone, but I don't want to tempt fate. So I'm familiar with Afrikaans. I don't speak it. I had a girlfriend who did. I have to go though. I don't have time to go off tangent. The video is about prepping and having a power supply when yours gets turned off. PopPop's out.